I just wanted to make a video to share my point of view in regards to diacetylmorphine hydrochloride, which originally had the brand name heroin, which is still commonly used today, apart from its slang term dark, which is commonly used in London, where I'm from, and stopping habitual use of diamorphine and the long-term effects of opiate use, including methadone, on your brain's natural endorphins, and if there's a link to your brain or your body being unable to produce endorphins after a prolonged use of OST, primarily methadone in my experience. I don't have enough experience with buprenorphine, as I've only been on intramuscular buprenorphine for around 6 to 9 months of my life, where I've been on methadone for around maybe almost 10 years of my life continuously. And after 10 years of using the synthetic opiate, also known as opioid, as I said, methadone, for 10 years, I feel that it actually stopped my body from producing endorphins, and I don't think I am actually capable of producing endorphins, whether at all or to the sufficient level that I need them, because I don't feel normal at all when I haven't taken methadone, heroin, morphine sulfate, oxycodone, any other opiate or opioid. Even if I've been off it for a prolonged time, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, it's impossible for me to function in any reasonable or normal meaning of the word. I'm unable to concentrate, unable to do anything. I'm pretty much stuck in a circle of depression. And I've just, after 2 years of being off methadone, which was probably the worst 2 years of my life, my adult life, I've now been on it for 3 weeks. I've just gone up to 40 milligrams of methadone today, and I did start to feel better a week or so ago, and I actually feel normal again after the 2 hellish years that I've had being off methadone. Well, I was on it for 85 milligrams. I was on for around, as I said, 10 years. There was the lower doses I was on before, but towards the end, that's what I was on. I was taking home about 600 milligrams, or just under, every Friday, and that would last me for the week. I'd go and collect a bottle every Friday on a FP10 MDA, Blue Controlled Drug Certificate, or blue prescription. And now I'm back on methadone. I feel normal again, and I'm starting to be able to take part in normal activities. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get off opiates. I've been using them since I was 26, 27. I'm now 36 in July. It's now June of 2026. I started around June, July of 2016, and so although I did start abusing codeine and things like that when I was 21, that would have been about 2011, and but this wasn't over the counter. I mean, back then it was you could get codeine linked to codeine cough syrup and just drink half the bottle or drink the whole bottle, get, 600, 15 milligrams for every 5 milliliters of syrup. So I can't remember. But back then you used to be able to just walk into a pharmacy, and I used to do a lap of different pharmacies and just collect loads of bottles. And, every week, go and do rounds of different pharmacies. Sometimes you have to go out the area, and eventually I, carried on with the charade with my GP about having a bad back and things like that, and I was getting codeine phosphate prescribed to me, and I was taking the paracetamol out when I was getting cocodramol using the cold water extraction. Even if I was to walk into a pharmacy now to get a box of cocodramol with 8 milligrams of codeine in it for every 500 milligrams of paracetamol, I could very easily take all the paracetamol out using the cold water extraction, and then being left with a large amount of codeine in a water solution very easily, and that's how my I was going to say opiate addiction started, or obsession, love for all things opiate, all things opioid. It started when I was around 20 to 21. I hurt my back one day when I was at work. My auntie gave me some of her codeine tablets, and I just instantly, I was abusing cocaine and cannabis at the time. And when I tried codeine, it was like an epiphany in my life. And I just started to look into the opium poppy, the Papiva somniferum. It was an epiphany of my life. I just felt warm. I felt wanted. I felt a connection. Nothing like cannabis, nothing like cocaine. It was something like a belonging. I knew where I belonged, and I knew where the codeine belonged in me. And that was the start of my love for all things opiate. And obviously, eventually, it turned into harder opiates over time, and it led on to heroin in the end. Morphine sulfate, heroin, diamorphine, being heroin, oxycodone. So that's what I wanted to touch on, being back on methadone now and actually feeling normal and being stable. But I don't think I'm ever going to be able to live my life without being on opiates or opioids ever, because the 2 years that I've just lived have actually been hell for me. I split up with my partner 3 times at one point. It just wasn't worth living, It really, the quality of life, mentally and physically, was absolutely appalling. I would never want to go through something like that again, and I absolutely need opiates to live a comfortable, happy and meaningful life. If I don't have any opiates in me, I don't see any point of going on. And this is after being off methadone for 2 years and having a good think about where things will go long term. Do I want to be on something like that long term? What are the effects? What are the damages? What could it do? And I am where I want to be on methadone. I'm a functioning opiate addict. I'm dependent on it physically and mentally, and there's no way I could live my life at all without having any kind of opiate substitute treatment. I think at some point over the last 10 years, over the last 15 or 20 years, something changed in me, something changed in my brain, in my body, and I can't make natural endorphins, I can't make natural chemicals that a regular person could, and I don't think I could ever be apart from the opiate, and that is my experience. My advice to anyone would be, and I know this is preaching, I know this is hypocritical, but to never touch the poppy powder, to never, to endure the pain rather than try and cover it up, to never touch, don't go near the poppy, don't go near the poppy powder, don't go near the painkillers at all, don't take any medicines that you don't need unless you absolutely have to. All doctors that I've known personally, not professionally, have always said the same thing, that they would never take any kinds of drugs that they prescribe unless it's absolutely needs be. They avoid taking drugs at all costs, every doctor that I've ever met personally. And that's my advice to the public, to never ever touch any kind of medication or any kind of drug unless there's no other option, and that includes, antidepressants, benzos. I've been on benzos for about 10 years as well now. I could probably go without them, to be honest, but, opiates, it's not non-negotiable. I can't live without them. It's something I can't negotiate with. I need methadone, and if I'm not on methadone, I need morphine sulfate. If I can't get morphine sulfate, then it'll be diamorphine or street heroin. If I can't get that, it'll be anything else. It'll be oxycodone, it'll be anything. If push comes to shove, I'll just go into a pharmacy, buy a whole box of codeine or cocodramol, do a cold water extraction, and throw all the paracetamol away, take all the codeine out of it. And that's what's been going on in my life. Maybe this will be the first of many videos. I'll see where it goes, but maybe no one will be interested, but thank you for listening.